Hi guys, this is Psychic Tracy Brown coming to you today to do your Uranus and Taurus horoscope. And this one is for Aries. What is around Aries for what does Uranus and Taurus mean for Aries? Remember, it's a planet that's going to go through a phase for 7 years, but we're just going to look at some immediate changes that Aries is going to have to consider. I've never done this before, so it'll be interesting. 2, 3, 4. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Please like, share, and comment. 6, 7, 8. Please email me. 9, 10. Please email me at psychictracybrown@yahoo.com if you would like to elaborate more on what I'm about to reveal for Aries. What does Uranus and Taurus mean for Aries? Let's take a look. Aries, there's going to be some very, very religious issues. Religious. These cards are beautiful. Religious. Do I follow the book or do I follow my spirit? Very religious. Some of you have not attended church in years. And there's a pull to reinvest. To me, it looks like reinvest in church and maybe not finding the healthy balance. Like, where is God for you? Where is God? And trying to find him. And then finding that everything's upside down. And then I get a faceless person. This person has no face. But I want to be able to say, insert face here. I don't know if you could see it. This person has no face. And I think the person has no face because that's where your face should be. And God resides in you. And that is something that you are going to have to figure it out. I think there's this belief system that the church is strong and the church is everything and the church is discipline and the church is the book, the Bible. But you are church. So many of you are going to have some religious, structural issues that are going to go on inside your spirit that it's going to be necessary to redirect. Many of you are going to enjoy a fabulous life. Fabulous. Especially for those of you that take the simple route. Greed will not be your friend, but you will be financially taken care of. Take the simple route. Take the simple route. It's almost like take all your hard-earned money and go live in the Caribbean. Does that make sense? Like, if this system isn't working for you, get out. Go live someplace else. That's what they're telling me. I don't know. Many of you are going to have problems with people that tell you what to do. All right? It looks like a fire sign person and you're tired of this bossy person. Could also be a boss, this bossy person. And not being able to communicate effectively with the boss or a bossy person. Almost like you're ready to put up a fight finally. Like maybe you've been getting along to play along, but now it could be like, yeah, you know what? I've got something to say to you. Be prepared to lose your job if you do it that way. But it also may be necessary to lose your job. Because there'll be another job waiting for you. So the challenge is on. I'm not a fan of disrespect, but it does seem like there's a challenge to say to yourself, not the person necessarily, but say to yourself, I don't have to put up with this anymore. I put up with this long enough. There's another job waiting for you. So start looking. There's going to be a need to stick up for yourself, which I find odd because I'm talking to a fire sign person. But if you stick up for yourself, expect the same type of energy to come back at you. Like, be careful what you put out, because this is the fighting card. Be careful what you put out, because you'll get the same exact thing back. And remember, I'm talking under some religious aspects, all right? So for me, religion is love. Religion is kind. That's for me. Doesn't always necessarily mean that that's what religion provides. Put your face here, because then what crowns you is this conflict. Come from a place of love, and the conflict will be based upon love. Come from a place of unkindness, and the same will result. And the base of this also could be a fire sign person that you no longer can deal with. Interesting. The Four of Swords is very interesting. It's isolation. Four of Swords is isolation. So if there's a conflict out there, all right, and the Four of Swords is, it's interesting because they're on a mountain and these wolves are around, but the wolves could represent an aspect inside of you that is out of control, all right? So instead of fighting like this, if you can, pull it in and freeze it. This man is on snow. Freeze it. And this almost looks like waving a flag, but you know how like the white flag, but these flags are red. So it's not like you're giving up on yourself or giving up on your fight or your passion, but the timing could be off because this conflict right here could create an environment that could stick around for the next 7 years. We're talking about energy that will stick around. And in order for energy not to stick around that long, it's almost like you have to change. I get my tower in my mind, in my head. It's never a good thing when a tower comes. But I get the Sun card. Oh, well, then it's a good thing. Okay, so these cards are really beautiful. Even the tower is kind of pretty. So, there's something here about, and remember we're talking about longevity. There's something here about religious aspects. There's something here about work. Knight of Pentacles is, for me, always a work card. And holding tightly onto, like, they show acorns in these flags. So, you know, being fed. Acorns drop from the ground and they're being fed. There's something here about a conflict. All right. There's a fire sign person, and I'm going to say fire sign person instead of saying a fire sign woman, because in my other deck I double up, right? With it normally would be 2 women, 2 men, and then I would be identify with a gender. In this case, I'm going to say it's a fire sign person, and there's some energy here that I believe it's very, very important for you, Aries, to pull back on the energy. The Tower card is here, but the Tower card is, you know, in my attitude, in my head, all right? And so your perception of things might be off. You know, how you see things might be off. And remember, this is something that could stick around for the next 7 years. But the Sun card shows up. And so if you, I think I get it now. There's just a lot of conflict here, right? There's conflict, there's religious turmoil, there's the Four of Swords, like, is like in your, laying out in the frozen snow. That's conflict. Nobody should be laying out in the frozen snow, right? But to me, it feels like if you let the sun in, if the bright sunshine of Aries comes through, for the next 7 years, you will survive Uranus and Taurus. Aries, you guys can survive this. Like, you have the strength, which is a beautiful card, to do this. And interesting enough, strength is showing a fire element, and you're fire. So no one's asking you to change, but if you soften everything about you and be authentic, you could have a great 7 years. You could make a misstep in your thought processes, because your thought is your biggest enemy. Make a misstep in the 7 years and say, I want what I want when I want it, and I don't care who I mow down. The opposite could result. But in the next couple of years, wait. Oh, the Tower and the Sun are pretty much in alignment. I see what I did. No, the Sun is down here. Strength. I see what I did wrong. No, this is all right. 10 of Pentacles was, I believe, where was the 10 of Pentacles? Is the 10 of Pentacles crossing? Yes. Yes, 10 of Pentacles was crossing. And then we're ending, the Strength card falls in my hopes and fears, and you're very powerful, Aries, very powerful. You will have an opportunity to invest in some leadership skills, and affecting changes for the environment. That is something I think that Aries is going to participate in, affecting change for the environment. I want to say feeding the masses, but interesting enough, in the Strength card, I get a lot of snakes and eels, which is interesting. And they're actually going toward the fire. But I get some leadership skills, but it also falls in my hopes and fears. So they're telling me to tell you to be patient, because the leadership skills may not show up for a couple of years. So you might have to stay where you're at for a couple of years for change to occur. But you will, if you stay where you're at for a couple of years and learn what you're supposed to receive, all right? Don't let your mind influence the reason why you are where you're supposed to be at. Be careful of too much conflict. Conflict is not going to be your best friend in the next 7 years. Please remember that. Conflict's not going to be your best friend. The sun will shine on you, Aries. The sun will shine on you. Inner strength. This is strength because you are meant to be a leader. And this is strength to control whatever is going on inside your mind. Whatever's going on inside your mind, freeze it, because there's strength that's required from you for something else, and you're meant for bigger things. So be careful that you could miss the mark in your personal development with God, because He has something for you. Many Aries will get married. Many, you all will get married, and it's real love. The Three of Pentacles tells me that there's a lot of charity work. Interesting, in another card I get this as working and getting the money that you want. I'm not getting that this time. I'm getting the money that you want only to give it away. So there's a lot of charity work. And then I get the Page of Cups. So there's going to be something very nurturing that's going to come out of you, Aries, in the next 7 years. Nurturing. Interesting enough, I get the Page of Cups. So there's a water element. So it has something to do with water. participating in water, feeding, water, drinking, but it's water based, not liquor based. All right, guys, I'm going to stop here. That is everything. Some of you are going to have a legal case, but the legal case is going to be based upon a secret, and it's going to be based upon time, and it's going to be based upon affecting change in the world. Remember, we're not talking personally. We're talking about affecting change in the world. So it looks like you're going to participate in something. Again, the participation could be from a religious standpoint. All right. When all is said and done, Aries, you're coming out as what's considered a Queen of Cups, but the one thing I can tell you about the Queen of Cups, she is a nurturer, she feeds, she takes care of her family, takes care of her people, her community, and in the end, at the end of 7 years, as long as you don't let the Tower affect you so badly, but if the Tower comes, it's only so you can be the Queen of Cups, the one that's the nurturer, the one that sees what you need. Then you will be amazing, just amazing. Everything that you're going to be working for, even if it seems in a level of boredom, will turn out so that you could be at your highest quality in the end. You will become the queen of nurturing. It's a nice reading, Aries. It's hard to get there, but it'll be a little struggle. But in the end, thumbs up. Please email me for your own personal reading at psychictracybrown@yahoo.com. Please subscribe. Please like. Please comment. Please share. Thanks, Aries. See you again for your monthly horoscope for June. Bye.